Greetings, one and all. I hope you're doing very well. My name is Naa Amerley Asante-Armar, and you are tuned in to Real Talk, Reshaping Motherhood. And depending where you are on, a number of different platforms, we welcome you streaming live from Ghana over here and from the UK, and my guests that you will meet very shortly. If I can ask you to do two things, it only take a few minutes, whatever platform you are joining us from, follow, subscribe to whichever channel or platform. And also, please do let us know where in the world you are joining us from. It's always great to know, how far we've reached or what perspectives that we can share on this platform. So again, that's a very, very special welcome to you joining us on Real Talk, Reshaping Motherhood. I am happy to be joined by one of my return guests, the lovely Shila Chebet, who today is talking to us about how we support new and seasoned, as in women who may have had more than one child, how we support them both before, during, and after birth. This is something that's become more and more. Apologies in advance for any technical issues. I hope you can now hear me well, but if not, please do drop a comment in the comments box. So, enough from me, Naa Amerley Asante-Armar. I would like to introduce you or reintroduce you to Sister Shila Chebet. Like I said, she's a life coach at Gene Life Coaching School or Gene Coaching School. Welcome, Sister Shila.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor to come back to this platform. So thank you for having me. Thank you for the audience that
Can you hear me,
watching.
Sister Shila?
Yes, I can hear you.
No delay.
Can you hear me, or is the technical issues are taking over?
Yes.
Now you can hear me?
I can hear you. I think there's a time delay, so I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for having me once again on this platform. It's always an honor to come back, always an honor to come and speak to our audience. So it is an honor indeed to be here today. I am grateful, and I'm hoping that we are going to have a very lively and lovely discussions whereby all of us are going to grow from it. So thank you very much. It's an honor.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. Before we dive into what we are
Sister Na, your phone, it was cutting out. For a while, it was cutting out back and forth. So I didn't hear a question if you asked me. It was completely cutting out. So if you did ask me a question, I didn't hear it at all.
Can you hear me now, Sister Sheila?
Yes, now I can hear you loudly and clearly. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I was asking, sorry about that. I was asking that, and before we get into the topic today, that we're discussing. Can you please just tell the viewers a little bit about the Gene Coaching School which you run?
Thank you very much for that. It's always good to speak about my life coaching school. I run a school called Gene Coaching School. I co-own this school with a partner, and it is a life coaching school. We discuss life issues, anything that is to do with life, be it emotions, be it physical health, be it food, be it sleep, be it anything, love, trauma, anything to do with life. We discuss it in the school. We have these conversations in terms of courses. So we are a school, so we give courses on this topic.
Fantastic.
And yes, we normally we are Kenyan based mainly, so we deal with the people of from Kenya, but that can touch anyone that is from Africa. We are the same people. So yes, that's what we do at the school. You are very welcome. Whoever is watching and wants to join the school, we are Gene Coaching School on Facebook. Or if you just go on Facebook and get Shila Chebet, as my name shows on the screen, you will get access to Gene Coaching School as well. You're very welcome to our courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Sheila. So today, as I said, we're looking at, in terms of reshaping motherhood, maybe different ways of looking at supporting new mothers or seasoned mothers, as in mothers who have more than one child. Why is it important that we are looking at the kind of support that is given to them?
It is important that we're looking at supporting new and seasoned mothers because they need the support. So I will start by defining who a new mother is and who a seasoned mother is. A new mother is a mother that is having her first baby. She is new to motherhood. She has never been on that path before. And a seasoned mother is a mother that has already been through that path of motherhood, in that she already has one child. So she is now getting another child or other children. Those are seasoned mothers. In this particular discussion today, we are going to look at support for both mothers, the mother that is new to motherhood and the mother that is seasoned as well. And the reason why we are looking at this is because of the issues that surround motherhood. When a woman has had a baby, be it her first time, be it a second time, be it her 10th time, she is in this vulnerable position whereby she needs help. Pregnancy takes a toll on the woman. So the help doesn't just start at the point that the baby has been born. The help starts at the point that the woman is pregnant, because pregnancy, it is something that is happening in the woman's body. It doesn't matter whether this is your first pregnancy, the third one, or your 10th one. Things are happening to your body. And when these things are happening to your body, you do not know how they're going to impact on your body. You do not know how they're going to impact on you physically, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. And that is the time we lean on the society to support us. The reason why we need to support seasoned mothers as well is because each pregnancy is different, and each pregnancy does impact on your body. It does not, pregnancy does not choose and say, oh, I'm going to be easy this time on this woman because she's going on it. This is her third pregnancy. It doesn't work like that. So you may find that sometimes actually that mother may need more help than a new mother, because the seasoned mother may be dealing with many other issues, including taking care of her existing children, including sometimes having gone down that path before and things not going very well in the first time. So she has anxiety on top of it, including having the hesitation to ask for help, because she's thinking, how can I ask for help yet? I've been on this path before. How can I ask for help? You get babies to sleep. Or sometimes women ask, how do you know you are in labor? When we talk about the help, it can come from anywhere. I know cases whereby women have gone to labor for the second or third time, and they didn't know they were in labor, but they did not know how to ask and say, remind me again, how does being in labor feels like? Because they're thinking, people say, oh, you've already been there, so you should know. So why we need to support these mothers is because of the issues that pregnancy comes with and the issues that new motherhood comes with. New motherhood here is being a mother of a newborn child. So the issues that that comes with, we need support. And we should never forget that a child is not the responsibility of the mother alone. The child is the responsibility of the community. So we are supporting the mother because she is bringing this new life to the community. New life is our responsibility for all of us. We should never forget that even us at one time, we were children of our mothers. And here we are serving the community. So this is exactly what these children will be, serving the community. And that's why all of us chip in to help this new mother. Thank you.
Absolutely. I resonate with a lot that you said. I'm hoping that you can actually hear me.
I can hear you, but you're cutting.
My first pregnancy was quite easy, straight. I would say quite easy, very straightforward. Time the waters broke until I had my first child was it was. But my second pregnancy is where there is, and what I take away from what you are saying is really how we should look at things. Is that every mother is a new mother with the birth of every child, because every pregnancy is different.
Yes, you are cutting out quite
Can you hear
badly.
me?
I can hear you, but you're cutting out quite badly, and there is a time lapse in terms of the
Buffering again.
Yes. I can hear you now. Yes.
What I was trying to say, or what I was saying earlier, is that what I take from what Sister Sheila is telling us. Yeah. Yes. So with every birth, a mother is a new mother, because it's the first time that she's birthing that particular child, and our children don't come with manuals. And as Sister Sheila says, every pregnancy is different. So from that perspective, I guess really we would encourage that the support that's needed is just as important for the birth of the first child, a mother having, being a new mother, as it is for a mother birthing to the second, the third, the fourth child, because of the different nature of the pregnancies. Would you agree, Sister Sheila?
Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly what I'm saying. I am saying, yes, that we should support the mother every time she goes through pregnancy, every time she has a baby, because each pregnancy is a new experience for that mother. Each pregnancy, as you say, the children don't come with manuals. And also, the woman's life changes. When you have the second child, you have to accommodate this child in the home. And that requires support of everyone in the home. You need to accommodate this child if the mother is a working mother, most of the mothers nowadays are working mothers. So the workplace also needs to accommodate this new child. That means accommodating the mother as well. So whichever way you look at it, a new child changes the life of the mother, changes the life of the family, changes the life of the society. So it doesn't really make sense when we say, okay, we're just going to support her when she has a first child. But then we kind of say, oh, when it's a second or third child, we are not supporting. But the circumstances or the impact that it has, it's just this second child is the same impact as the first child. in that the child is coming with its own unique needs. So yes, we should support this mother, be it her first child, be it her 10th child. The other thing I would also like to add, we should support the mother even if she is an older mother. Because nowadays we also have mothers that are giving birth to children when they are quite when they are in their ages that people think, oh, she's a bit too old to give birth. Like a woman that is in her 40s, for example. If you are fertile, you would in your 40s very well. So a mother that is also having her children at an age that is older than the norm, because you find most women have their children in their 20s or early 30s. So if you find a woman having a child in late 30s or 40s, this woman also requires support. We shouldn't say, oh, she's mature, she's already lived many years on earth, you know, she's got it figured out. No, it is the same issues that she's dealing with, like someone else that has had their child at age 20. So we give support to the woman that is in her 20s. We give support to the woman that is in her 40s or 50s. As long as this woman is having a baby, she needs that support.
Absolutely. And from recollection, the beauty, whether it's the beauty, the power of Mother Nature, where it does that thing that it makes us forget. It makes some of us forget the pain we went through the first time around and certain things. So it is almost like with the next time you do need to be prepared afresh, isn't it?
Yes, you need fresh preparation every time. And the fresh preparation starts again with the nature. The fresh preparation starts in pregnancy. You find, as you said, you've had 2 different pregnancies. That's exactly what happens in pregnancy. You find that these 2 pregnancies are not the same. The symptoms you have for that pregnancy, you find they are not the same. Even the way you put on weight or the things you crave or the food aversions you have are not the same. So, and then the labor itself is not the same. The children that you give birth to are not the same. So everything is new all the time. So because something is new, you need the help for that new situation that you're in now.
So Sister Sheila, please talk to us a little bit about the difference in the support that used to encourage that mothers need, you know, before birth, so during pregnancy, during the labor, and then after birth. What do they look like?
Okay, this one, I would say when I'm talking about the support the mothers here are going to get before pregnancy, during labor, and after labor, I want it to be clear that I'm talking of all mothers, be it a young mother in terms of her age or of an old mother, be it a new mother in that she's new to motherhood or seasoned mother. I'm talking indiscriminately. I'm just saying any woman that is through pregnancy. So before pregnancy, we need to give help. And this help is whereby a woman wants to be pregnant. You know, the woman is saying, okay, I'm looking forward to having a baby. So I would like, you know, to get pregnant. Because we are living in an age whereby fertility is not necessarily guaranteed. So you find that we are reaching that point whereby we need help to get pregnant. And the help that we need could be physical or it could be psychological. Sometimes you need to be told good stories about pregnancy and being told, yes, you can get pregnant. And yes, this is what you need to eat. These are the kind of thoughts you need to have. This is where your relationship should be at when you're getting pregnant. This is where your finances need to be. This is the health you need to have. So we need to have those discussions pre-pregnancy on the basis that if a woman starts pregnancy from a healthy standpoint, whereby she's physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, and spiritually healthy, the pregnancy is going to be more of a smooth sailing. So that support system should be there right before pregnancy, because you're going to rely on this support system throughout that pregnancy. So before this pregnancy happens, you kind of have to have that support system. Pregnancy should not be that thing that you do on your own. Pregnancy should be the things that you do with a support system around you. If you don't have that support system, I would say, you know what, hold on those pregnancy thoughts first and foremost, and wait to gather your support system first. So what does this support system look like? Pregnancy is a two-people affair. There is a man in the picture. So that should be your first support system. That man that is going to be the father of this baby. You should be on the same side. You should be on this, you should be having similar ideas, because part of the problems that we're finding with pregnancy nowadays is when that pregnancy is not wanted. You know, when you, the woman, you want the pregnancy and the man doesn't want it, for example, you're already starting from a point of conflict. It may, sometimes when you start from that point, you don't have a very good pregnancy. It is just a lot of trauma and stress throughout it all. So be on this, your support system should be this man that you're thinking of getting pregnant with. So you should be in a good place, and both of you should be in agreement with that pregnancy. So let's say that support system is there. And women, we also need other women around us.
Absolutely.
We need other women around us, because women are the ones who have wombs like us. They're the ones who feel, who know how it feels like to be a woman. So you need your women around you, be they your mothers, your sisters, your friends, whoever. You need that support system in terms of the women in your lives. And then when you get pregnant, pregnancy itself can turn your body inside out. We know about the first 3 months of pregnancy, and we know about, you know, the morning sickness. We know about the food aversions, the food cravings, the UTIs, the sleeping, and of course, miscarriages or threats of miscarriages as well. They happen during those first 3 months. So you need a support system around you, the support of the man. That support, you cannot now not have had it before pregnancy and now expect to have it during pregnancy. You have to have established it before. So during this first 3 months of the pregnancy, you need that support so that this pregnancy can take hold. And this support is from the same people, that man, your women friends, your employer, your whatever community around you, you need that support. Now, this is the place that I also say that there's a lot of secrecy or a lot of shame or a lot of mystery sometimes accompanies the first 3 months of pregnancy. So you find a lot of women want to keep it hush. So you even hear in the out there a woman being told during the first 3 months of pregnancy, don't say it, don't tell people, keep it quiet, keep it under wrap. And when you ask, why should I keep it under wrap, you actually find the motivation behind it is quite bad. It's like, should you have a miscarriage, you will not have a lot of explain it to. So the reason why you're told to keep quiet about the 3 months of pregnancy is simply to kind of be ahead of a miscarriage. So that the back of it, you have a miscarriage. That is a very, very wrong thing to think of when you want this life. And what that works, apart from you now risking attracting this miscarriage because you're thinking of it, the other thing you are also doing, you're closing off your support base. Because if you're hiding this pregnancy, you're not saying it, how can you get the support when you haven't told people that you're pregnant? And that means that should miscarriage happen, you also don't have that support, because how do you now say about a miscarriage when you'd never mentioned that you're pregnant in the first place? So you find you end up suffering on your own simply because you followed this bad advice that you should talk about pregnancy the first 3 months. So it is my knowing and my belief that when you're pregnant, you need the support right away. And the people that you're asking for this support from are your people. So whether they know you're pregnant or not, it should not matter. And if you have a miscarriage, because that's a reality, it can happen, it shouldn't be something that you have to hide from your people. These are your people. So let them know from the beginning that, hey, I'm pregnant. And then they will find ways in which they can start supporting you. And then as the pregnancy continues, after the 3rd month and you go to the 2nd trimester, and now the pregnancy is becoming bigger, you don't even have that extra stress of trying to think, how am I going to tell them I'm pregnant now? You see, because you started from a point of shame and secrecy.
Okay, Sister Sheila.
Yes.
Let me ask you a few questions. There's a lot in what you said, and it's all important. We usually want to be in a place where it's ideal, and unfortunately, we know that we don't live in a place of ideals. So, for instance, the what about the surprise pregnancies? Whether that is a surprise to a couple who, at least they're a couple, at least they're a couple, and maybe pregnancy was a possibility, or the unfortunate incidences where the pregnancy is a result of, let's say, forced conception, somebody that's been assaulted. Is there anything different you'd say about how women in that position would rally their support?
Yes, I would say, there are different things I would say about this. First and foremost, I would say pregnancy happens in a woman's body. So it's of paramount importance of the woman to be ready for this pregnancy, and for the woman to be, when I say ready, it's not just physical readiness, it's also emotional and mental readiness, because it is our body that's going to create this baby. So the first situation where you said a surprise pregnancy, whereby they are in a relationship and a pregnancy happens. In my book, and as a life coach, for as long as you're in a relationship with someone, for as long as you are you're having sex with this person, pregnancy is always a possibility. Pregnancy is a result of sex. It's as simple as that. So for as long as you are a woman living with a man, you shouldn't be so surprised that a pregnancy happened. So for as long as you are in this relationship and you are having this should a pregnancy happen, that is something that is par for the course. It is something that could have happened. So in that case, whenever you are in this relationship, you should be having support of this relationship in the first place. And this is whereby, as a life, I tell women, if you are in this relationship whereby there is no support from your man, whereby the relationship is not really working for you, this is not whereby you try to suffer it through. You try to see, oh, let me just hang on in and everything. This is the places whereby you get pregnancies that are unwanted, because it's not really the pregnancy that's unwanted as such. It is the relationship that's unwanted, and the pregnancy is now kind of forcing you to be with this person. In your head, that's what you're thinking. Or the pregnancy is trapping you to be with this person, or it's making a bad situation worse. So to prevent a problem like this is to make sure that any relationship you are in should be a relationship that you want. And if it's a relationship that you find, even things like surprise pregnancies happen, you'll be on the same boat of what to do next. So you would not have this conflict because you're already in a supportive relationship. So I would say that first question, I come back still to the support and say, if you are in a relationship, let it be a supportive relationship. We are not talking that we're not saying that support only comes when you're pregnant. The relationship should be supportive. That's why you are in it. You're in a relationship for support. So when surprise pregnancies happen, or illnesses, or whatever, anything happens, you are guaranteed that. Yeah. Now the second question.
All I was going to say is that, so that it will be a different conversation when we talk about was forced pregnancy, as in women who have been assaulted, and so there was no relationship. But I think that would be a very different conversation, perhaps. But maybe I'll let you answer the second question first.
Yeah, this will be a very different conversation, because if it's a forced pregnancy, this is the one time that if it's a forced conception whereby there is rape, or there is something against a woman's decision. When it's something like this, I say this one will let the woman make the decision, because it is the woman that's going to carry this pregnancy. This is whereby things like moral things, and the religion said this on someone else, Sheila saying, me, if it was me, I would do this, and Naa Amerley saying, if it's me, I'll do this. It is not that. It is not you. It's not me. It's not anyone else. The woman in question, the woman who has been raped, said with this pregnancy, should sit there, get all the kind of support, especially psychological support, to make the decision with what is her way forward. This is fully her decision. And whatever decision she arrives at, she should be supported fully. It is her who knows where she is in her mind, where she is in her emotions, where she is in her physical body regarding this forced assault that led to a pregnancy. So it is her. What you tell this woman is that we are going to give you all the support that you need. Here is the mental support. Here is and she's surrounded by her women and her people. And then she decides this is my way forward. And whatever way forward she decides that comes from deep down, that is the way forward we support. So support is still
Thank you
important.
so much. Yeah, no, thank you. So, like I said, living in a real world, we have all these dynamics. I think I should let you continue to the next one you were going to go on to. Otherwise, there was, the other thing that I wanted to ask, this is because I know other people were related to this. So for me, I'm from Ghana, and it's very much, or at least it used to be, our culture where the other reason why we don't say anything when a woman is pregnant is, I would accept that I think there is some negativity to it. It's not so much about, oh, well, the first trimester is, delicate, that's when the miscarriage can happen. It's more it's almost like suspicion. It's almost like, don't tell everybody because you don't know if there are people who are going to wish you ill. And so literally you have times where I'll just find out, people in the family, I didn't even know they were pregnant. You just know when the baby has arrived. So it's like a cultural thing. Can you relate to that?
Yes, I can relate to that. And I would say it's all fear-based. It is fear-based and it's kind of simplistic reasoning somehow, being that hiding a pregnancy, you will only hide it for those 3 months. And then afterwards, the pregnancy announces itself. So are you going to stay hidden in the house so that these people wishing you ill, they will not see that pregnancy? How are you going to hide the pregnancy? Or do you only think they would wish you ill in the first 3 months and then the rest of the 6 months of the pregnancy, they suddenly wish you well? How do you plan to work that out? And in case, the pressure that this adds, sometimes people hide pregnancy. Well, I can see the pregnancy, like the first 3 months, the woman, feels the smell of onions. She comes to your house, you're cooking onions, she wants to vomit, she's hiding this pregnancy. Or you can see even the colors. She's hiding it. So you could be helping her, but she's hiding. So you're wondering, and at the heart of it, you think she's hiding it because the African aspect is never normally the miscarriage. It's, as you say, people may wish you ill. So you're thinking she is denying the support system because people wish her ill. And the people they normally think they wish ill, the people in their heads are not normally strangers out there. It's normally their family. If there's a mother-in-law,
Exactly.
she's the mother-in-law, she's normally the number one suspect. And then perhaps you think, oh, I will also talk to the people, so I'll not tell her. Or my sisters, will also say, I'll not say. So you end up sabotaging yourself by closing off yourself, not having this support system because you're fearful that your support system is going to harm you. Now, here again, it indicates another problem. And the problem is you are surrounded by people you don't trust. So either the distrust is coming from you yourself, so you naturally don't trust people, and this is a sign that you have so much trauma within you, or it could be that truly the people around you are not trustworthy. There are people you don't want around you. So it brings up the question, what are you doing surrounded by these people? People that at your most joyful time, when you want this pregnancy, when this new life, you are hiding. And then when the baby is born, how do you present this hidden baby to the public? Or now they'll start wishing the baby well because the baby is here. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all that they will wish you ill. And then when they're born, you're calling them to come to the naming ceremony. So they wish the baby well outside, but they wish the baby ill inside. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all. Thank you so much for addressing that because that's a real thing. But like you said, a lot of these things, whether it's suspicion or whatever, they're not really based on rationale, right? I did anything that really makes sense. But the fear is real. So we don't want to surround ourselves at our most vulnerable, precious time with this fear. So I thank you very much for addressing that. Please do continue with where you were in terms of the different stages of support.
Okay, I had reached the second trimester now. The second trimester is whereby the pregnancy starts announcing itself. So even if you're not announcing it, it will now start announcing itself. You will change, your gait will change, the tummy will start jutting out, your dressing will change, probably you start wearing maternity clothes, so that you're free, you're breathing free. Your appetite sometimes changes at this time. So you may find you're eating more. there are many changes that happen physically to you. Emotionally, you'll also be changing as well, mentally as well, because the whole pregnancy, there's so many hormones that are flooding your system to support this pregnancy. The placenta itself secretes so many hormones, the womb itself, so many things are happening in your brain as well. The neurotransmitters are also secreting so many hormones. So a pregnant woman is a hormonal woman. She's a woman with lots and lots of hormones. This is a woman that needs a lot of understanding. She needs a lot of patience. She needs a lot of support around her. And that is why you see in many places when a woman is pregnant, you're told, oh, stand up, give seats for them. You know, if they're allowed to use toilets in places that, you know, toilets are not for everyone. They're given first line on the queue, you know, because they understand that a pregnant woman comes with so many needs. So this is the support that is there. And this is where I tell the pregnant women as well, feel free to ask for help. This narrative that you want to be a strong pregnant woman, we have to ditch that kind of mindset, especially for Black women. They like to say, oh, we are the strong Black women. You know, we are strong. We in pregnancy, we can just do the things we were doing as we were not pregnant. No, this is the time to take it easy. This is the time to give yourself that compassion and that love and that gentleness. So learn to ask for help as a pregnant woman. If that help is not being given, ask for it. You know, ask for it. And if it requires you to say, I'm pregnant, kindly do this. Yes, say it. If you have an employer, don't try to work the same working as you were before. Let your pregnancy give you that carte blanche to receive help. So ask for the help and receive it. Because that's the other thing. They may be offering help and you'll say, no, I'm strong, I can do this. No, receive the help. Ask for it and receive the help as well. That is during the second trimester. On the third trimester, most of the time. On the third trimester, most of the time, whether you want help or not, help is required. You find on the third trimester, movement is a difficult thing. You're sleeping a lot. The baby is doing many things. You need the antenatal care more. And of course, you're now physically preparing for the baby coming. So during the third trimester is whereby it's getting real. You know, anytime soon, this baby will be coming. So again, you need a lot of support. That's why this support was with you from the beginning. It will continue with you all through the pregnancy. It's not as if they're going to start supporting you at the beginning of pregnancy and then midway they leave you. No, the support system continues with you. And again, now when we reach labor, during the labor itself, there is also a lot of secrecy and mystery and shame. I find all of it at the heart of it, there is shame. And this is something that is new in the African context, because we did not have shame when it came to women giving birth. We had words for it. You could say, also, and so is pregnant and they'll be expecting a baby anytime soon, or there was this air of expectation, you know, that anytime a new baby is coming. So there was joy. It was something that we were looking forward to. Nowadays, there is a bit of shame and secrecy, and people don't even want to say when the baby. Some of the women get quite upset when you ask them when they're having a baby. Some of them keep hush. They don't want people to know. And I think at the heart of it, we bought into this myth that the whole giving birth thing is kind of like something shameful, something that you don't speak out in public. And it reminds me of the way we've treated periods as something shameful as well. So it's all to do with these things that are essentially women, you know, things for women. It's shame that is now attached to it. And you find that giving birth itself is something that is so shameful. Don't speak about it in public. Don't talk about it. Don't have that discussion, you know. And this is a form of stopping the support for women. Because when a woman is heavily pregnant and she's going to give birth anytime, the thing she wants to talk about is giving birth. She wants to have that discussion. She wants to get that information, you know, and that information needs to be easily available to her. So that if she comes, you, Sister Naa, and you've had 2 babies, how is giving birth like? But you remember, instead of you now cutting that conversation short and say, oh, you'll know about it or you find out, you're supposed to engage her. Part of the support you give her is give her that story of hope. You know, don't give a horror story. Give her the hope. Talk about it and say it shall go well, and say, you know, me or my dad, you know, this was happening. There is a lot of humor that can be heard when you share in pregnancy stories, you know, childbirth stories. There can be so much humor. And in that humor, bonding will happen, support will happen. But what happens? We don't want to talk about it. Yet every woman that has had a baby has gone through labor. All of them. There's none that has had a baby that has not gone through labor. So we support. So information is out there. Real life example, real life experiences. They abound. They are there. But you find when you want to talk about them, people don't want to talk about them. They want to keep quiet. And then you find the pregnant woman, she goes, she has a baby. She comes back with the baby. Everyone wants to talk about the baby. Oh, look at the baby. The baby's so cute. And no one wants to talk about the mother, to talk to the mother about the experience of childbirth. I believe the experience of childbirth needs to be spoken about. It is a life-changing experience. And it can also be a traumatic experience. And we need to have discussions about it. Women need to speak and say, okay, this is how it went, or this, that we need to have these discussions. But you find there is a claim around it. It's like, we have the baby now, let's not talk about anything. The baby is here, fine, finished. Is it? We'll not talk about that. It's gaslighting. It is gaslighting. We're talking about that not happen. And that stops women from getting support. Because sometimes what women need to talk about, they need to talk about that experience. Because nowadays, because we're giving birth in the hospitals, we are getting a lot of trauma from these hospital births, as opposed to when we used to give birth from home before. Because when we give birth from home, that is in the African setup, we were giving birth within the community, with the community midwives who had done it for a long time, who were not doing it as a job, they were doing it as a calling, who are with you the entire time of the pregnancy, they were walking with you. So you are giving birth in the community and surrounded by your people with very little to no medical intervention. Now we are giving birth in the hospitals. In Kenya, hospital births can be very, very traumatic, right from the resources that the hospitals have. So sometimes going to give birth in the hospital itself is trauma. The midwives in Kenya, they are known for their malice and spite and meanness. The facilities in Kenya, when you give birth, especially, I'm talking about the public facilities, the private ones. Now, this is the problem we have in Africa. People that are rich can afford to go to these posh places. So their experience of childbirth is very different from the common Kenyan. The experience is very different. When they go to give birth in these public hospitals, it is not a very dignifying experience. It can be a very experience. And we need to talk. Whenever you have trauma, you need to have conversations around it. Because if you don't talk about trauma, it stays inside and it starts festering. There is a lot of trauma around childbirth. And a lot of women need to speak about childbirth. They need to speak about these experiences in safe spaces, in places whereby they can be given the support, to say their story, to say, we hear you. And then from that to see, it's from these conversations, we can also see what changes can be done to the hospitals. Or we can even see from these changes, we can say, you know what, it looks like how we used to give birth in the homes before was better. How can we see that? How can we see that we go back to that? There can be a good things that can come from talking about childbirth experiences. And now the other thing that's happening that we don't talk about childbirth experiences is a lot of women get childbirth injuries, but because they are not talking about it, these injuries go unresolved. And then you hear women giving birth, and then after giving birth, they lose their health. You hear their health, it just went downhill after that. They got this backache that never heals, or they've got this bleeding that never goes, or they've got this prolapse. You can have the prolapse where things are coming out of you. For as long as we're not having these discussions about childbirth, we are missing out on a lot of support. We're missing out so much on support. So the support we need to have after a woman has gone through childbirth is to talk about the childbirth itself. Of course, if the woman wants to speak about it, you'll find many women want to speak about it. But a lot of people are fully focused on the baby and forgetting that this mother has gone through this life-changing experience that she may want to talk about. So yes, at childbirth, we need the support that's required there for the woman to speak about her experience. The other support after the childbirth is now the new mother getting used to this new baby. Now there's a baby here. 9 months you've been waiting for this baby. Now the baby is here. This is whereby for many women, things start going downhill. Because you realize this baby that came with no manual, has not come to just sleep and look pretty. This baby has come to make demands on your time and energy. And some of these babies come. For me, one of my babies came hungry. Hungry, yeah? He came hungry. He breastfed and breastfed and breastfed until I was like, hey, when does he stop? And he was just breastfeeding and breastfeeding and breastfeeding and breastfeeding. And I thought this, I was really wondering when I'd not bargained for this, because the books, again, we are left with a lot of things that are written by the books as opposed to real life experiences. So the books had said things like, oh, they breastfeed and then they sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours. Then they wake up and breastfeed and then sleep for 2, 3, 4 hours. So I knew they would just breastfeed and go sleep, then wake up. This one was sleeping on the breast, was waking up on the breast, and not leaving. And I didn't know who to go for this kind of. I didn't know who to go and say, hey, this baby is breastfeeding so much. I'm feeling a bit resentful every time he cries and he wants to breastfeed. I'm feeling like, just leave me alone, like just give me a few. And I didn't know who to go with, those feelings of frustrations, because, when you have the baby, you're supposed to say, oh, nice, it's nice. You're not allowed to say, oh, gosh, he's crying again. He needs me again. I need family. You're not allowed to say those things out loud as a mother. But when I started having conversations, much later, when I started having these conversations, I think it was in my that I had these conversations, I found it's a very common feeling amongst mothers. Sometimes you actually want a break from your child. It's normal, to say like, I just want a break. But these are the things you're not told. You see, mothers were around me, as opposed to looking at the books. If other mothers around me would come and share the experiences and say, for me, I needed the break. And I took that break regardless, We need to have that support whereby we're having honest, candid conversation, even what's and all, speaking about things that normally when you speak out loud, there are people like, what kind of mother is she? But when you're surrounded with a support system of people that have the same experience, they would understand, they would understand that sometimes you're feeling tired and sometimes you need the break. And this is where the support system comes in and holds space for you. They say, you know what, we'll hold the baby and play with the baby as you go to have a shower. We'll hold the baby and play with the baby as you go to have a walk out there. Or we'll hold the baby and play with the baby as you eat in peace, without eating and looking. Is the baby moving? Is the baby waking up? These are the support system we need after the baby has been born. And we need it to stay on for at least a year. Not even the baby. Sometimes when the baby is born, for the first 2, 3, 6 weeks, people are there with you. Then after that, they go and they leave you with this. Who demands so much in terms of time? Who is demanding so much in terms of your energy? And who's coming up with new things that you didn't know existed before? One of my babies got acne. I don't know if it was acne or milia. They called it milia. And it was really bad skin. The skin just had this white pustules on it, all over. Disfigures the baby's face. I had never seen anything like that in my life. The baby was born with such smooth face. The baby was born and the face was all nice. And then 3 weeks in, the baby's face, I looked at the baby and I thought, how am I going to show this baby out to the public? Because the face was all destroyed. I came to told later by another mother who'd gone through the same, much later, when the baby's skin had cleared and everything. And she told me it was the hormones, the mother hormones, that it was my hormones in the baby that were leaving. If I had got that information earlier on, I would not have stressed as much as I did at the time. So you see this support system, but because by the time it came out, the support system had already left. They had already gone back to their lives. So I was left with this child because I was a seasoned mother then. So I thought, oh, she's been there before. She'll handle it. But none of the children had skin like this. So it was new. And I didn't, the thing is, people say, oh, but in the UK, you've got doctors and everything. First of all, getting doctor's appointment is a different ball game all by itself. Second, when you're a new mother, the effort just getting ready to take that child out. By the time you finish dressing that child, you've got your baggie, you've gone to the bus stop, you've dressed yourself, you've dressed the other 2 children. The effort, just get up, The UK, we don't have help, house help. You just sit, you know what you say, I'll just handle this bad skin here, you know. We'll deal with it in the house because the effort to go out there. But this is where the support system is important, because if I was surrounded by a support system, they will come and say, we'll have six other children as you go out to take this one to the doctor, you know, that kind of thing. Or we'll make food for you for a week so that you don't have to think of cooking for this one. Or we'll come and help you with the school as you take care of this new baby. So we need to have support around us. It is not if, it is not but. We need it as a new mother. Yes.
Wow, that is each of the things that you've said, I think, found like the basis of a whole separate conversation. I mean, there's so many things in what you said. The sharing birth experiences, absolutely. A very close family member recently gave birth, and she actually had the awareness or the sense to ask those of us, you know, her sisters or friends, you know, what was your experience like, so she could be prepared. And I would just say to her, look, this is what happened. Dressing up, nothing. This is how it was. Because where else will you get that information from? And what you said about, you know, the experience in the hospital, which unfortunately appears to be getting worse, especially for women, for Black women, African women. The statistics are not good in terms of how many of us are more likely to die than women in other races from giving birth, you know, to our babies in hospitals. It's really not good. So, like you said, these sharing the experiences, as much as, you know, highlighting whatever the negatives, but I love, it's powerful what you say about, you know, how then to force us to think about how can we improve things, you know, especially about the fact that we're not allowed to talk about these things. Really, it's hush hush, it's taboo, it's all, don't talk about that now, you know, that one as well, whole nother topic. How many things can we not talk about ourselves, our anatomy, what we're going through? And especially that shame or dread, I would say dread, because I felt that dread or fear of being judged, that if you say something that is negative about your baby, you know, it's a scary place to be in, because you want to say things because you're thinking people probably look at you like, what's wrong with you? But when you've not had any sleep, when you have, like Sister Sheila, you have a child. I was warned about having boys. Like, at least in my family, they said, be warned, the boys eat and they don't stop. That's, you know, that's what I was given, the warning. But imagine you are the one that's responsible for feeding this child. The child does not stop breastfeeding, and when you have cracked nipples, the last thing you want to do is feed your child. It is literally torture. But it's like, where do you go to speak about these things without somebody judging you? You see? So what Sister Sheila you're saying, absolutely, we have to we have to feel free to speak about our experiences. And the other thing I think personally, from my experience of maybe supporting sisters, is the other reason why we need support is, although we know that we should ask for help, we don't always do it. So you need your women around you to say, hey, give me the baby, sit down, eat your food. When you have finished, you can have the baby back. Not you going to ask, oh, can you please? No. You need your entourage to come and say, no, okay, you do this, you go do whatever you want with your time, but I'm taking the baby now. I'll bring the baby back, or you can have the baby back maybe when it's hungry. So thank you. Like I said, you covered so much, and literally we need to debunk everything. But please, what's your I guess your closing message to the viewers for today?
Thank you. Yes, there's a lot to be covered on this topic. I think one thing is because we never speak about it. So thank you for having this platform to actually speak about this. These are the things that I'm sure my mother and other mothers in our age, when they will see me speaking about this in public, they'll be like, oh my gosh, why are you embarrassing us this way? Why are you embarrassing us this way? Why are you speaking about these women things in public? My closing shots would be to tell women that are going through the experience of conception, because it starts at conception level itself, going through the experience of trying to conceive or pregnancy or childbirth or having a new baby, you should have a support system. Have that support system. If you ask, where can I get the support system? The support system, first of all, starts with the people around you. You will know them. Sometimes all that is required is for you to start having this conversation as we are having this conversation right now. And then these conversations have to be very, very candid. They have to be very, very open. It's not conversations where you're saying, oh, yes, it's wonderful, it's great. Sometimes you have to say it's a struggle. Sometimes you have to sit together and say, you know what? I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. Like for me, I lift up my hands when I talk about children. I say, I enjoy my children when they're from age 2 and above. 2 and below, it's a bit too draining for me, and I need a lot of help. I'm one of those mothers that required a lot of help, and that help, where I could not ask for it, I paid for it. And this is the other thing I'm telling the mothers out there. If you are in a situation like in the UK, whereby you are not surrounded by family and friends, everyone is so busy with their lives or the family, you're first generation or immigrant, you don't have any family to support you. Don't be the strong Black woman. Pay for this help. Look for the nannies, for the child minders, for the mother's help, for the doulas, whatever, and pay. If you can't get, at this point, you just need that support. If you can't get it organically, pay for it. Don't try to be this strong woman trying to do it on your own. You will suffer. Your child will also suffer, because a mother that is not in that good place to mother cannot be is not in that good place within herself. There is no way she can mother well. The child will just suffer because the mother is not well enough, because she's tired, she's fatigued, she's not sleeping, she's not eating well, she's not resting. And all this because she does not have help. So if you are in a position to pay for the help, pay for it. If you cannot pay for it, ask for help. Be bold enough and ask. You'll find that when you ask, the help is there. And for people that know of a woman that is pregnant or a woman that has just had a new baby, whether it's her first baby or her 10th baby, learn to offer the help. Learn to offer the help. Know that she does need the help. We teach this in our school. We say when you're going to visit a new mother, there are things that you have to do in that visit. One of the things you have to do, you have to go clean that house. You have to go cook food. You have to go hold the baby. You have to tell the mother, go and have a break, I'm here. You are not a visitor that goes to be taken care of. You are the visitor that goes to take care of that mother. So that is also what we have to do as a support system. We have to offer ourselves as a support system to these women, because they are doing the noble work of bringing a new member to the community. It has been an honor to be here today. So thank you very much. I believe I've finished saying all I wanted to say. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sister Sheila. The last question of you is, where is the Gene Coaching School based? Is it just online, or do you have a physical presence?
We are twice a year, we have a physical presence in Kenya, but the rest of the time is online. All our courses are online. We deliberately put our courses online so that we could access everyone. When it's online, we do the courses through WhatsApp. So wherever you are, you can do the course online at your own time. We also deliberately put it online as well because of the nature of the content of our courses. Our courses are very intimate. It's whereby you're speaking things that are deep within you. And we find it's easier for people to speak candidly behind the keyboard than to speak openly there, because you're talking life issues. You could be talking about the trauma you face. You could be talking about the issues you have with loved ones. You could be talking, issues like childbirth and what you've gone through. These are issues that you may find it very hard to speak face to face, but when you are speaking behind an audio or typing, it can be easier. So our courses are all online. They can be done by anyone, anywhere. We have a physical presence twice in Kenya. We go purely for gene coaching matters, but most of the time and the courses and everything, it's an online presence, and that is Gene Coaching School at Facebook. But if you go Shila Chebet, you can access Gene Coaching School as well from my page. Thank you.
And whereabouts in Kenya, or does it just depend on the time?
It's everywhere in Kenya, just any Kenya, anywhere. everywhere. Yes.
No, that's okay, because you said the physical presence. Sister Sheila, thank you so much for all that you shared. We will probably have a part 2, part 3. You know, there's lots that we can pick up. Thank you very much for this evening. Thank you to you, the viewers, for watching live or on replay. Please do join us at 6 p.m. GMT next Monday, 8th of March, which is International Women's Day, where I will be joined by a number of amazing women talking about how we do reshape motherhood and womanhood, and how International Women's Day may help us to do that. So take care for now. Until next time, I'm Naa Amerley Asante-Armar, signing off. Have a good evening.